What's up, Savages? I've disappointed each and every one of you because not only did I miss Taco Tuesday, but I also missed Taco Thursday. I'm not proud of it. I'm really not. I have to cook pork loins tonight. No idea what a pork loin is. I just bought it out of impulse. It's whatever. Let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gandhi's Thoughts, brought to you by My Nutrition. I'm Gandhi, and today, you know what time it is. I've got the swivel chair so I can move a little bit more. It's the year of 2006 Halo 2 history. Now, I'm going to apologize right away to everyone because it's going to come off a little pretentious, and there's nothing I can do about that. But I'm going to be highlighting three teams, which is basically the dominant performance throughout the entire season, and two really good breakout players, and we're going to kind of go through it. Now, we're going to start this off. We're going to meet the number one team coming from 2005 all the way into 2006, only losing at Orlando, New York, which was the playoffs and the grand finals. Let's meet Final Boss. Now, Final Boss decided to go from Team 3D / STK in the 2005 year to being picked up and changing their name to Final Boss. Now, when this team name was formed, everyone was like, oh my god, that is fucking sick, right? Because they're always in the finals. So they're the final boss you actually have to beat. The name was so cool, and I remember sitting there, and I was like, man, that's a really fucking cool name. They announced it in the offseason. I was like, man, the Ogres are the Ogres are the coolest people in the world. They say everything right. They say everything I want to say. But so they had that name, and the first four events were just dominant performances by them. But we'll get into that. The next team we're going to meet here is going to be Team Carbon. As soon as it switches, there it is. Now, Team Carbon, obviously you know who it is, but we're going to talk on a little bit of the coach here. So, Team Carbon, as you know, it was myself, Shockwave, Karma, and Strongside. In the back was Triple X. Now, at the first event, real quick, no. We'll meet Straight Rippin'. This is going to be Straight Rippin'. Now, it was really hard to find a picture of them. I'm not sure why, but the guy in the middle left here is Captain Anarchy, and he was replaced with Defy, who you guys met in the previous video at the beginning of the season for the first four events. It was T-Squared, which is the guy in jean shorts, baggy shirt, and just a douche aroma around him. Fonzie was in the middle, and the far left was Fallacy. So it was Defy, T-Squared, Fallacy, Fonzie. And the first event, right, like obviously we have a grudge, right? Like it was a rivalry. Like everyone knew, like, oh, Carbon versus Straight, like shit goes fucking down. And so we go in there, and I'm this cocky little kid. I got cargo shorts on. I'm fucking strapped in, ready to rock, right? And we come in, and we win game one. And, Straight Rippin' was talking about how they were going to, 3-0 us, with ease. And I was like, Tom, weren't you supposed to 3-0 us? Hey, Tom, look at me, right? And so then they, win the series, or they win, 2 games. And he gets up and says the exact same thing back to me because he's a cleverless asshat. And they end up beating us. And so we go through the losers bracket, and we end up in the losers finals versus them. And they just destroy us. Defy single-handedly ruined our hopes and dreams on Ivory Tower. He had nasty quick scopes and level 2 sniper. And he really put us in our place. So we didn't have a coach for that event. So one more time, I'm going to show you the coach here. So this is going to actually be Dallas. Now, this is MLG Dallas 2006. This is the second event we're at. And so we decided to acquire Triple X. Now, Triple X used to compete in the 2005 season on TSK. He also played in Halo 1. He also fucked me over a long time ago, but that's for a story time. We'll get into it one day. So we picked him up, and the main reason why was because we're just young idiots who needed control. And this was really, 2006 was the dawn of coaches. There was no such thing as a coach before then. And we picked him up because, one, we could trust him, even though I really couldn't, even because he fucked me over, but we could trust him. He was really good at what he did, and he was known for communication and basically timing power weapons. So we were like, okay, this is a perfect fit. Now, sure enough, we go to the event, and we play Straight Rippin' again in the winners bracket semifinals every single time. They were the 2 seed, we were the 3 seed. We play them, and I forget what happened in the first series, but I know they won. I want to say it was 3-2 or 3-1. And so then we meet up with them again in the losers bracket finals, and we go the entire distance with them. We go all the fucking way, and we end up losing game 11. They win 6-5, or it may have been game 10. It was either game 10 or game 11. I'm not sure. I know it ended on a Team Slayer. And they beat us, but we got a lot better. We improved basically by we improved by either 3 or 4 games. So we knew what we had to work on going into Anaheim. So Strongside's still on the team, and during this time, it was really like a battle between me and strong side. And the big thing here for me is I was really, really good versus people who were not like straight or final balls. I would crush everyone else, but when it came to straight and final balls, for some reason, like at the time, my skill just, it wasn't there. It wasn't at the same level. Like Shockwave throughout 2005 was in my opinion, probably the best Halo 2 player because he could just do it all. But like I struggled versus these two teams. So after the event, I come home and I'm grinding my face off. I want to be the best, and I know I need to play the best people. So what I decided to do, which really didn't make much sense, was I decided to go into big team battle. And my brother, I have to thank him for this idea because it worked. So in Halo 2, the settings were the same across all playlists. So you could play big team battle, you could play team skirmish, and you would still technically be getting better. Excuse me. So I go into big team battle, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, Scott, you're going to get sniper, you're going to port on whatever map it is, and you're going to get in their base, and you're just going to go to town. You're going to kill as many people as possible every single time. And so I was sitting there, I was practicing my double shot, my BXRs, my BXBs, my nose scopes, my snipers, my quick scopes, like every shot. Like I could zoom in and kill them all easily, so I would make it harder on myself. I would wait till I got shot at and then go for a snipe, and I would just keep trying to force the issue. And now it's time for Anaheim. Anaheim comes around. We have a lot of hype about us. We're crushing people online. We go in. We lose round 2 to FBI, the agency. We lose like 3-2. It was like Tupac, Slim, maybe Shook one on the team. I'm actually not 100% sure. But so we lose round 2. And I remember sitting there saying, holy fuck, man, like what is happening? Like I didn't understand. And so like we are in losers bracket round 2, and we make the run all the way through to where we play straight ripping, right? We play straight ripping, we beat them. And I just remember being like, yes! Fuck you guys. And that's where the Carbon name turned into the Comeback Kids. There's an article done on it, and they were just like, you can't ever count these guys out even if they suck. And I was like, yeah, we can't. And so we finally get to play final balls, the first time since the 2005 national championship, right? So we're all fucking giddy, we're pumped up, we're ready to go. 3-0'd. The most anticlimactic grand finals of all time. The games were like relatively close, but you could just tell like we burned all of our momentum. It's really fun to think back on like how like I just shit out. Now, during that losers bracket run, we ran into 2 people who were amazing players. Like they were young talent. They kind of got a little bit of a start in 2005, but these 2 players ended up becoming a staple in Halo history. The first one here is going to be Nated. Now, Nated and Legit, which is going to be the second one right here. These 2 guys were young talent. No one knew what to expect, but they were so fucking individually skilled. It was insane. Legit would go on to be one of the best Halo 3 players. Nated will go on to be one of the best Halo players across all games because of his consistent performances, period. I would probably say Legit, too. Both of those players would probably be in the top now based on everything. So we play these players and we go to Game 5. We end up beating them in like Warlock Team Slayer Saturday night, and we knocked them out. So now the next event is Chicago. Now before going into Chicago, finally it's like the summer. So the first 2 events, the first 3 events actually were during the school year. And obviously we're still in high school, we're young kids, minus Karma. Karma had already graduated, so we're young kids. We couldn't land, so we go to a LAN. We decide to go to a LAN and we go against EX. Now EX was Captain Anarchy, Pistol Pete, Mimic, and Ghost Ayami. And Ghost was a really good player. Like everyone kind of knew like how good of a player he was. And do I have a picture of Ghost? I don't think I do. Well, you'll see it later at the squad picture. So we go against Ghost Ayami, and we're playing them the whole weekend. And like the big problem with Strong Side that we were having was that his communication just fucking sucked. Like he fucking sucked at communicating. He just zoned in, and it was just like, right? Like that was his big problem for us. And the other problem was that after Anaheim, like I finally got in the routine where like I could be unleashed on the top teams. Like I could start raping. Like I was hitting my snipes. I was winning individual battles. I was coming up clutch. And that's what they expected out of me. So I finally got to that level, but then Strong Side was still like, we were like two main slayers, and it just wasn't really working out well at all, which ends up being a problem in 2007, which is really funny, but we'll get into that in the next video. So we land the entire weekend. I'm like, I like have like a mental breakdown one day of the land, and I'm like screaming at Strong. So I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't understand why we're losing. Like, I don't understand. Like, the games were way too close. And so we go into Chicago, and it's Saturday night, and Straight Rippin's playing Shookwin Gaming. They get upset 3-2, Team Slayer midship. And we're playing Storm Ventures. And Storm Ventures consisted of Nated and Legit, and I forget the other two. And I'm sure Nated or Legit will be able to shine light on it. But they beat us, and I'm like, fuck. This sucks. This is a loser's bracket run. This is a real big loser's bracket run. And so I remember looking at the bracket, and I saw that we play Straight Rippin for top 6. And I was like, I can give T-Squared his lowest placing in Halo 2. This has got my fucking dick hard. And this was the dawn of the toilet paper incident, and also the dawn of technicals. Now, when Shookwin Gaming beat Straight Rippin, Vegito was like running around with his shirt off, telling Fonzie he fucked his girlfriend, telling Defy he fucked his girlfriend. Like, it was chaos, right? So we get on the main stage. I'm not telling the toilet paper story. I'm saving that for a special video. But basically, I hand T-Squared toilet paper, and I say, you got shit on, but I'll tell the whole story later. And so we beat them, and then we play Storm Ventures again, and we lose. They go on to play Final Boss, and they lose 6-4. Now, after this, there's two humongous things that happened in between Chicago and Orlando. The first thing is the introduction of the first big celebrity who ended up sponsoring a team, and that's going to be Gilbert Arenas. Now, Gilbert Arenas ended up sponsoring Final Boss, and they were fucking decked out. They were decked out in Adidas gear. I'm talking they had shoes, they had jackets, they had everything, you name it, bro. They looked fucking awesome. And I'm over here in cargos and a fucking shitty-ass polo that makes me look like I haven't seen the light of day in my entire life, right? And so they have that. And we're like, I'm just like, fuck them. Like, why do they get it? And then obviously, like, I knew why they got it, because they've lost like one event in like a year and a half. And so we decide as a team, I've been wanting to drop Strongside for like 2 events, and like I wanted to drop him after Anaheim, even though we got second. Like, but Shockwave was really adamant about keeping him, so I was like, okay, I'll give him a shot. And then Chicago, like, we all just agreed, like, we had to get a new player, and we had to decide between Defy or Ghost Ayami. So we said to ourselves, okay, let's grab Ghost. We watched his gameplay. We all thought it would be better with Ghost. I was really torn between if I wanted Ghost or Defy. I thought Defy was an amazing player. He has a sick BR, and I knew we'd get a lot more slaying power. But with Ghost, I knew we would get a lot more objective work. So with that said, I was like, well, I don't want another Slayer. I want another guy who's going to be an X Factor. So we decided to grab Ghost Ayami. And I know it's hard to tell here, but this picture is absolutely fucking hilarious. So far right here is Karma. Mid right is me. Yeah, that's me. I know. What the fuck? I'm a scrawny little bitch. Look at me. Oh God. I have a puka shell necklace on, dude. Like, why did I do that? I have no idea what I was doing in this. Like, God, Scott, you're so bad. Next to me is Shockwave, and at the far end is going to be Ghost Ayami. So, it's Orlando 2006. This is by far my most memorable event of all time. Some people are always like, oh, your most memorable event was 2006 Nationals. Nah. It's 06 Orlando. So, 06 Orlando comes. We grab Ghost Ayami, and with Ghost, we got like instantly better at Capture the Flag Warlock. I don't know why. It's just because he like won individual battles more, I guess, or something. Whatever the case was, we got better. And we went from basically winning the game type 1 out of 16 times, no matter who we play, to winning it like 15 out of 16 times. Why 16? I don't know. I picked a random number. So it's winners bracket finals. We beat the shit out of Straight Rippin. They picked up Captain Anarchy for Defy. Defy joined Legends. Blah, doesn't matter. We 3-0'd Straight Rippin', right? And from Orlando on, this really set the bar for the last 3 events, because Final Boss and Carbon, my team, would never lose a game to anyone else besides each other. Ever. It was just a clean 3-0 sweep every single time. And so it's winners bracket finals. We come out hot. It's Capture the Flag Warlock. Ghost has a big game. I have a big game. Shockwave. Everyone's playing very well, right? We win the first game. I think we lose game 2, and then we win games 3 and 4. And in game 4 is probably one of my best individual performances throughout the entire year, for sure. My best overall individual performance was 2007 Nationals. But we beat them. Like, it's Capture the Flag Sanctuary. I was a god with the sniper at the time, and, well, really I was for the majority of the time, but, like, I'm sorry, this is the pretentiousness I had to talk about, but we clean them out on there. It's like a really long and grueling game, and we end up winning like 2-1, and I'm running the final flag, and I'm throwing it because you can throw it in this game. And, like, Ogre 1 spawns Courtyard, and I have Sniper, and I throw it, and I turn, and I just fucking rip his face. I'm like, later, Dan. And we cap, and we win, and everyone's, like, shaking, and they're like, ah! And I remember sitting in the pro lounge, and I did this in my Savage Talk, and I put, like, my arms around my teammates, and we were watching them play, and we were like, we're going to fucking win this event. So we win Orlando, and then we go into New York. Now, New York's one of the best comebacks we've ever had. We lose the winners finals 3-1. Then they win the first game when we come back into the series, and they're up 4-1. They go up 4-1, and we win the series 6-5. So that's where continuation is really fucking awesome to see, because if it's 2 best of 5s, I don't know what would have happened if it was 2 clean best of 5s, but continuation, we were down 4-1. That's a mean fucking comeback to come to. So it was really cool. And then Las Vegas, 2006. Everything was going basically according to plan. At that point, my ego was so big that when we were playing straight ripping on the main stage, there was the wave going on. During the game, and I stood up and I do the wave, and I make Ghost with our whole team does the wave Saturday night for straight ripping, and then like a camera crew's coming by, and I'm like taking pictures. Like, I don't even care about the game. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I know I'm beating straight ripping. And so we get into the finals, and it goes like 6-4, and we fucking win that bitch. And this was the first year that MLG raised the prize money all the way to $100,000 fucking dollars. So we walked away with this, and it was a surreal moment. Obviously, you can tell by the New Balances that I had some swag, and it was a crazy year, man. Like, if you would have told me that at the beginning of the year, like, I would have won the national championship, I wouldn't have fucking believed you for a second. And for the record, I gave the world's worst fucking interview. And this is a hilarious story that a lot of people don't know. So I got, like, we each get $25,000, obviously, right? And Penn Holderness, who was one of the commentators, it was him and Sundance DiGiovanni. They did it, like, pre-recorded, though. He goes, what are you going to do with that money? And I'm sitting there, and I'm fucking high. I might as well have fucking taken an eighth of shrooms, like fucking batshit high. And I look at Ben, and Ben's like, say Hot Pockets, bro. Say Hot Pockets. And I'm like, and I had like my little shitty voice, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a lot of Hot Pockets. And Ben was like, that's a lot of Hot Pockets, Scott. And I was like, I didn't know. What the fuck? Like, I just won a national championship, man. You know how hard it is? I was 16. I, like, just got media trained. I didn't give a shit. I just wanted to, like, fucking hang out with everyone. And it was, like, it was by far, like, one of the world's worst interviews. Like, besides Crim 6, like, What About It Works For You, it's this one. So it's really cool. Now, the next video I'll be doing is the 2007, not next video like today, but probably tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing the 2007 year, which it gets a little bit crazier, but really a lot of key people pop up in 2007, so I'm going to do more of an intro of the players. But yeah, what you need to take from this is that Nated and Legit become a staple in the competitive fucking Halo scene from this point on. Us and Final Boss are light years ahead of everyone going into the off season. So other than that, I love you, but I don't love you. Take it easy. My God, I looked good. I looked really good. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at that. Oh my God, I look so good. Oh, Scott, your posture's so bad. Oh, that puka shell necklace gets me so wet.